Hey guys, I want to quickly go over what we went over in class and then just do a quick wrap up and an overview of what live looks like. So here we have the main clip window, and here we have the browser, which basically shows everything that's on your computer. Here you have the information window, and here you can view information either about the track, the audio track, or the actual clips themselves. These can be turned on and off. I think it's a good idea for you guys to keep this window, the info window, up. If you don't want it, then just this little triangle brings it out. Same on the right side. This triangle makes the main window larger. And then over here, if you want to get rid of the browser on the top left, that's this triangle. On the top right is controls the view that you have. Live has two separate controls. The session view, which we're looking at right now, which is what we'll be dealing with for the next couple of weeks, and then there's also the arrange window, which looks more like a regular digital audio workstation, but is in fact does a lot more than that. So let's not deal with this right now. So let's go back to the session view. These buttons over on the right side, these are radio buttons that turn various aspects of the view of this view on and off. And you'd want them so that you'd have on or off so that you can control them, or off so you have more room for more to see more clips. The I/O stands for in and out, and that just basically turns off that area there. And this is the in and out area where you can control where the audio for this particular track comes from. And please, for now, set it to no input. Depending on what you have elsewhere, there'll be a bunch of different things. But for now, put that on no input and make sure the audio out is set to master. For MIDI, put this on all ins. That way it, and then if you want at some point, if you have more than one MIDI track and you want to have different controllers for each MIDI track, you can do that here. But for now, this is all ins and all channels. Set this to auto. And since there's no audio here, just set it to no out. And this is much more complex than I'm giving you right now, but we'll get to that. So the S and the R are linked together here because these are, the S stands for sends, and if you look over to the channel, you'll see what disappears and what appears. It's those little knobs. And then the R is for return, and if you'll look to the right side there, that appears and disappears. So the as I went over last week, there's a difference between the two kinds of effects are insert effects and send effects. So this is basically when you want to take the audio that's on this channel and send it to a specific effect that you have over on, that you've set up on this channel. So this is the send for A, and this is the return for A, which means that the audio on this track is being sent to this channel to return A, and it's basically a wet-dry control. If you have a reverb on A, having this dial all the way to the left means there's no reverb coming on it. If you bring it all the way to the right, then there's more reverb. So basically a wet-dry thing. Same with B, and then M is just the faders and the information there, if you would need more room for that. So let's turn off the I/O since we've set it up the way we want. Okay, and we'll keep that. So now let's go to the preferences and we'll quickly look over that. The first thing I showed folks was this was the look feel, and you can change the look here by the skin, changing the skin to various other colors. There's oh my goodness, there's a bunch of free ones. If you do a search for Ableton skins, you can download a bunch of ones, and they will tell you where you can put them. My favorite one when I'm working on my own is where is it? Frost, because you can see things really clearly. If you have audio clips here, they really jump out at you. Plus, it's really easy in performance. You don't want a really bright screen in a concert performance. So Macs have this very cool, very easy switch to the opposite color ta-da, it's all black. And that is, as I said in class, Control, Option, Command, all three at the same time, and then hit 8. And this is a general Mac facility, not just Ableton. This is everything on your Mac. So if you ever want to see what things, see what things look like in their opposite color, just hit Control, Option, Command. Okay, I'm going to go back to the default, because that's the default. Where to go? There. Yeah. Default. Okay, the audio is where you set up your audio ins and outs. If you had an external audio channel, external audio device, that would show up here, but let's for now keep it built in. The built-in input, the built-in output. In-outs sample rate is 44.1. Let's keep that. This we'll deal with in class. If there's a latency or delay in triggering clips, this is where you come to figure that out. This is the test tone, which we had some fun with. And MIDI, if you have a MIDI device, it'll show up here. And you want to keep the track on, because that will send out MIDI notes. And if you want to keep, you keep the remote on, because that will send out controls for faders and the like, if you have knobs and things like that. If it's just a keyboard with no knobs and no other controls, then you just have track on. You can leave the remote off. Otherwise, but it's always best to leave track and remote on. And so this is the input into live, and this is the output out of live, so you want to keep that off so there's no MIDI feedback going on. And if you do have a MIDI class compliant device, it'll just simply show up here. If you have one that Ableton knows about, they already have a lot of templates built in for various controls, and you can see that by going to this drop down window. And so if you get one of these, they'll already be mapped internally. Okay, now let's just get out of here real quick, because I want to show something that I didn't show in class, and that is I'd like you guys to set up a template that will open up the same way every time you boot up live. And for now, I'd like that to be 4 audio tracks. So let's get rid of this MIDI track. So you highlight it and you press delete, and that's gone. And then you add some more audio tracks, either by going to create, insert audio track, or by pressing Command T, audio track, audio track. And then turn on in and out, and make sure that these all have inputs. I'll have no inputs. If you were recording from the outside, something from the outside, then you'd want audio from external in. But we're not doing that right now. So let's turn the audio from to no inputs on all of these new audio tracks. Okay, no input, and make sure they're all going to master. Okay, and once we have that set up, we can simply get rid of it. Now you have again these sends. Now you might notice over here on the return, they also have sends, but they're grayed out and they're not doing anything. And we'll get to that later. You can actually turn them on by pressing enable send, but let's not do that. We're not going to deal with these right now. These are here just in case you want to send like the reverb to the delay or something like that. But so okay, I think that's it for now. Am I forgetting anything? Oh yes, and then to set up your default view, let's go to look feel again. No, let's go to file folder and save current set as default. So once you've set these 4 audio channels and 2 return channels, I'd like you to come to the preferences and press save. I'm not going to do it because I have another default I like. So if you ever make any changes that you want to, changes to the view that you want to keep every time it boots up, then you can come back here and press save. But for now, I'd like you to, with these 4 audio channels, come into the preferences and press save. Okay, that's it for now.